Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to share with you the common Angular gotchas. I'm not used to it. So my name is Hong Tat. I'm a software engineer at Viewpoint. And I have developed 2 Angular projects before, and I faced a lot of issues. So the first one I'm going to share with you is the memory leak. So what is memory leak? Is you allocate a memory to your application, but you forget to free it. So when you are done with the memory, but your application don't allow the garbage collector to clean it up. So after a while, you'll find out there are lots of memory assigned to your application until you'll see your Google Chrome is running out of memory, right? If your computer is running low on memory, you'll see this message, or even worse. Okay. So what caused the memory leak in Angular? So you subscribe to an event listener like mouse up, mouse down, or key up, key down, or the Windows resize event and more. And the other factor is you subscribe to an observable like param.data, router.data or router.param. Okay. So how can we prevent memory leak from happening? So we can unsubscribe manually. So what you have to do is create a subscription variable, and you assign the subscription to this subscription variable, and you call the unsubscription at the ng on destroy lifecycle hook. And that's it. If you continue right in this way, you might end up creating a lot of objects just to unsubscribe the subscription. Right. In most part, you're not wrong, but there's a better way to do it. So you can consolidate the subscription using the add function in the subscription object. So what you have to do is create a new subscription variable and assign all the subscription to this subscription variable using the add method, and unsubscribe it and add the ng on destroy lifecycle hook in one go. And that's it. So the next thing I'm going to show you is using the take until operator to unsubscribe the subscription. Okay. What you have to do is create a new subject variable. Right before you subscribe to an observable, you need to put the take until operator under the pipe method with the variable you just created just now. And why I use the take until is because we are basically telling the observable we want to take until the subject variable admitted and value, and we're going to unsubscribe it. So where does the subject variable admitted a value is at the ng on destroy lifecycle hook, called the next function and followed by the complete function. And that's it. Right. The next one, we can use the async pipe to prevent the memory leak. So what we have to do is we create a observable variable, and we assign the observable to this observable variable we just created just now. And we just use the observable directly in the template. And what the async pipe does is they will help us to subscribe to the observable. And when the observable admit and value, they'll notify the component. And when the component is done with the subscription, they are unsubscribed automatically. And that's it. So the next issue I'm going to share with you is the slow loading web application. So what caused your app slow? So one of the factors could be the slow internet connection, but this is not our focus today. But we are going to focus on the initial file to run the web application are too big. So if your initial file to run the application are big, so the browser will need to use longer time to load the application, to start up the application. So the longer the browser take to download the file, the longer user have to wait. The longer user have to wait, the more impatient they'll become. So the more impatient they become, the more F5 they'll click. Okay. So where can we check your initial file size? So you just build your project, and you can find the initial tag in the output, So that will be your file size. Okay. How can we prevent people from pressing F5? So we can implement lazy loading. By default, ng modules in Angular are loaded eagerly, which means when an application loads, so do the ng module, whether or not the ng module are needed. Right. Okay. But if you have a large application, you might consider using the lazy loading, which is a design pattern that loads the ng module when it's needed. Right? By doing that, we can keep the initial bundle size smaller as well as reduce the load time. Let's see the workflow. Whenever user launches an application, the Angular will download the ng module, which are required to run the application. And the user have to wait for a while and template appear. So whenever user navigate to another lazy loaded module, lazy loaded feature, and the Angular will download another lazy loaded module, and the template appear again. And that time, user have to wait for a little while. Because of the file size are smaller, that's why the loading time is faster. So before we implement lazy loading, those are the route that we all putting all together under the app routing module. But we can split it out. Okay, we can mix those parts into a module. So instead, we can write it in this way. So by using the load children, we can lazy load the route. Right? If you're using version 8 and above, you can use the import operator to load it. To load it. Right. The next one, we can make our application load even faster by using the preloading strategy. Preloading strategy is we preload the lazy loadable module in the background when the application is bootstrapped. So it will eliminate the latency when navigate to a lazy loading module. Right. Let's see the workflow. So whenever user launches an application, so you download the ng module that are required to run the application, and we have to just wait for a little while and the template appear. So after the application is bootstrapped, the Angular will continue to download the other lazy loadable module in the background. So whenever user navigate to a lazy loadable feature, and the template will show up immediately. And you can just configure the preloading setting in the app routing module by using the preload all module. Right. And there are more actually, and because I have only 10 minutes, so you can check it out on this Angular performance checklist. Thanks, Minko, for that. And that's all from me.